Hey, Darren, it's nice to see you virtual TV and talk about being involved in this amazing project of Ryan Murphy, how you got involved as an executive producer, and talk a little more about your half Filipino character.
Yeah, so the story behind the show was when Ryan and I were kind of talking about what we wanted to work on next, and I can't say I consciously pitched anything. It was just us sort of free associating, brainstorming things we were interested in, and he asked me, I said, give me words that you're interested in, and he said he wanted to do something period, young and hopeful, and so I brought up some people and some famous stories from the 1940s that I always kind of wanted to develop a story around. And that kind of evolved into something that was more about Hollywood specifically in the 40s in Los Angeles. And we took a lot of inspiration from a lot of real people and a lot of fictional people. So, at a certain point after he sold it, he said, do you mind if I just do my own thing on this? And I was like, of course. I was working on my own show at Quibi, and I was even appreciative that he asked me that, because it was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you think I was going to write it? Like, no, you're Ryan Murphy, of course. So he offered me, an executive producer position, which I thought was very gracious. I think it was just kind of goodwill towards the fact that we, had initial conversations about it. And he was very receptive to my input very early on. But at the end of the day, it was Ryan's thing. And I even said, like, hey, it's okay. Are you sure you want to give me an EP credit? Because I know this is going to be your thing. And he said, don't be an idiot. Take the title. So I was very, very happy to be offered that. And he was very gracious. As far as my character is concerned, I think Ryan has always been fascinated with my sort of ethnic background and my own identity. And, being biracial is a very interesting duality for anybody that's mixed race or half. It's you're always wondering, what part of you is being most represented in society. Like how is it how people see you? Is it how you see yourself? Like it's a very strange thing, especially when you have a public profile like I've somehow managed to amass. So I think he really wanted to utilize that in the show, because it is about a lot of people that are feeling restricted by, because the adversary of this show is the 1940s, is the society that and social constructs that are pushing people down and pushing people back. So, it would maybe be a shame to not maybe mention that. And also, I have a very unique situation where I'm half Asian, but I'm also white passing. And so what does that mean for somebody in a world where, he wouldn't maybe want to bring that up? It's the opposite of now. It's all I bring up. I love bringing up that I'm Filipino because I feel like it makes me cooler. Like I'd rather have the Filipino community know that I'm Filipino. Whereas somebody like Raymond maybe had a bit of trepidation about that, because maybe it was a world where he would have been pushed out of an industry that he wanted to be a part of. So he uses this sort of white half of himself to get in there in order to be an advocate for other marginalized people like Anna May Wong, and for the writers he's working with and his girlfriend and the actors and the stories that he wants to tell. He feels like a responsibility to use this sort of almost secret ace up his sleeve to change things. And I'm glad that that was Ryan's idea, not mine. But everybody comes in with a different thing. Whether it's their age, their race, their sexual identity, whether the people themselves or the characters on the show, they're all adding to a different variable in the equation of trying to make the world and Hollywood think about itself differently. It's what Ryan does. Ryan did the same thing. Ryan has used film and television as a social justice crusade for people that he advocates.
Mm-hmm. And having Patti LuPone there and singing at your bar, and also singing with you in a van, talk about working with her. Well,
gosh, I mean, Patti LuPone is outrageously gregarious with her time and her energy. One of the great things about this show is that there is the young Turks, and then there's the upperclassmen. I refuse to say old guard, but there is the seniors and the freshmen, and I think the seniors are definitely, and I don't mean senior citizens, I mean seniors in the class, in the school. They are, I think, feeding off the energy of the freshmen, and the freshmen are excited by the wisdom and experience of the seniors. So having her around was so fun for us, because everybody idolizes her, and she was just such a blast to be around. Same with Holland Taylor, and Amir Savino was with us. We had a lot of people come through, and I'm forgetting others. Queen Latifah. There's a whole bunch of folks that it was a joy for the Young Turks to be around. But yeah, she was not reserved about singing for us. It was great. I usually have to pay a lot of money for that kind of a performance, and I got it for free. In fact, they were paying me. It's a steal. So that was a joy.
Thank you, Darren. I wish I had more time, but I'll see you in real life soon.
We'll see you in real life. Exactly. I hope so.
Take care.
Bye, Janet. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.